supposed to be about. I pledge to oppose compulsory service.
To oppose slavery, to recognize the difference between voluntary action and government first.
I pledge to show the world that real peacemaking is the liberty.
I pledge to resist the threat.
I pledge to defend liberty, starting.
I pledge to defend my home at home and outdoors. I pledge to fight for a foreign policy that puts America first.
I pledge to defend the Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic.
I don't own a firearm, but I pledge to defend the right for you to own a firearm.
I pledge to hang on to my Second Amendment rights until they cry them out of my cold, dead hands.
To resist show trials and fight for habeas corpus.
To oppose all new legislation that doesn't severely slash the budget or taxes.
I pledge to inform Congress that just like me, they do not have an unlimited budget.
I pledge to not allow unelected bureaucrats to run our economy.
I pledge to resist fiat currency. I pledge to defend the natural rights of man, my life, my fortune, and my sacred for citing sky.
I pledge to remember the price of liberty is responsibility.
I pledge not to compromise my responsibilities.
Pursue the American dream of nation.
I pledge to support small business and other institutions. I pledge to remember that wanting to keep your own money isn't greed, and spending other people's money isn't compassion.
I pledge to never tax you.
I pledge to work outside of government to make the world a better place through voluntary associations without the threat of violence moving overhead.
I pledge to combine the philosophy of liberty with the virtue of love.
I pledge to never let political differences interfere with the intentions of human friendship.
I pledge to turn hostility against all forms of tyranny in order to not land.
I pledge to question authority.
I pledge to speak out.
I pledge to learn without learning.
To educate myself about the political process so that I can make a difference.
I pledge to be human action that doesn't come to you.
I pledge to buy copies of human action for all my Marxist friends.
I pledge to review Rockwell.com every day.
To read more Murray Rothbard.
To learn about fractional reserve banking. I pledge to remember that nobody can calculate the value of individual.
I pledge to speak truth.
I pledge to spread my siblings around the world.
Io prometto sempre una differenza.
I pledge to hope the world is not all.
I pledge to remember that this country doesn't have royalty and we don't need to replace the royal family.
I pledge to limit the government's job description.
I pledge to have faith in my fellow man.
I pledge to defend liberty until the day I die.
Watch this pledge. Altogether, I swear by my life and my love of it that I will not live in the same way, but I shall know that to live in life.
I pledge to educate my children.
I pledge to live and let live I pledge to join Young Americans for Liberty.
I'm also the Young Americans for Liberty State Chair in Iowa. On behalf of the University of Iowa, the Young Americans for Liberty, and Campaign for Liberty, we'd like to welcome you and thank you for coming here tonight. Ron Paul, a father, physician, an 11th term Republican congressman and former 2008 presidential candidate, has asserted himself as a leader of the liberty movement in this nation. During his 2008 candidacy, Congressman Paul promoted a message that boasted the philosophy of liberty as as its foundation. That message of freedom has since caught on like wildfire in our nation. This once no-name candidate has now become the most profound catalyst in our generation that we have encountered for waking the people up to this message of freedom that has been lacking so greatly. The growth of this movement is highly dependent on me, highly dependent on you, and highly dependent on us. If you're interested in joining the Campaign for Liberty or the Young Americans for Liberty, there are cards on each of your chairs, and if you guys fill those out and return them at the end of the event, you'll get a constitution, which, you know, it's kind of important. Sometimes you forget that. You know, I still remember walking in my astrophysics class in 2007 and seeing written on the chalkboard, Google Ron Paul. Oddly enough, I decided to go home and actually put him into the search engine and see what I got. To make a long story short, I never looked back. Never before had I heard of a congressman who had applied his philosophy to his congressional actions consistently and for decades. Not once voting to allow the federal government to act as if the Constitution is a limit on the people's rights as opposed to the federal government's rights. Yeah. Congressman Paul is truly the exception to Capitol Hill's 535. He defies the red-blue paradigm and analyzes proposed policy through the lens of an unobstructed liberty. I have never been more honored tonight in welcoming Congressman Paul to the University of Iowa. People of the Republic, I give you Congressman Paul.
Spirit in the room. For putting this together, and the Young Americans for Liberty and the Campaign for Liberty for the work they've been doing, because they're very important organizations. But I thank you for coming and your interest, because things are changing in this country. It's not because of a couple politicians, it's because the people are waking up and they're telling this country, both political parties, are sick and tired of what's been happening. I have been very encouraged in the last couple of years, even since the presidential campaign, that there has been momentum built. People are still interested in what was talked about during the campaign. Matter of fact, I think there are a lot more people. For instance, there's still a lot of people think that we ought to end the Fed. Co-sponsors of the bill to audit the Fed, and we passed it in the House. But of course, the powers that be, including the Fed and the bankers, they were able to squelch it in the committee. But in the meantime, they made a very strong point. What do they have to hide? There's more reason now than ever, especially for what's going on in this country. When you think about the power of the Fed to create money out of thin air, $2 trillion, and pass it out and bail out their friends, and then cover their tracks, and then dump all the bad assets on the American people. And then when you start to understand how the system works, we realize as a people that we can't continue to do this. This is an argument that is not a new argument. This is the Jefferson-Hamiltonian argument. Thank goodness at the beginning Hamilton won now, Jefferson won it, and this is right now we need to repeal Hamilton and make sure that we have sound money once again.